my education, it was one professor one time in fourth year who mentioned it very kind of off the cuff. Oh yeah, and trust your gut. And like off you went. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh, okay. Like, and but it didn't really occur to me that that's what I was doing until
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome that you made a whole book about that. I'm just processing this right now. One, I'm not surprised that you wrote something and the trauma came forward because I've also
Yeah.
tried to write things and it just like goes into a dreary place and I'm like, oh, I guess that's what's happening right now. I feel like writing is definitely a form of like therapy and just
Oh
processing
yeah.
like your emotions. So I'm not surprised that it went there. Have you always been drawn to the spoken word, like even when you were a kid, or is this something that just happened at COVID?
No, like I honestly I thought I was going to write a book as a kid. Like
Me too.
I kind of always went that way, but
Yeah.
with nursing school, any love of writing was beaten out of you
Oh yeah.
very, very quickly. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this sucks. And so then, you finally graduate and you're tired and you're just getting used to bedside and then you get
Yeah.
married and then you have kids and then it's a whole
Mhm.
16 years later, you're like, what the hell just
Yeah.
happened?
And your creativity is totally zapped sometimes. It goes through
Yeah.
phases. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. As
yeah.
a little kid, I always wanted to write a book too. My mom always thought that I was going to become a writer when I was a kid.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Oh yeah, yeah. So and my friends too, like they know that I write now and they're like, yeah, that makes perfect sense for you. So and I'll talk to other people that want to be nurse writers and it's the same type of narrative. Like I've always liked writing. So it really does sound like something that's like in your core of cores. Like you're
Yeah.
always pulled to it. The same way that like someone is always like humming a song or like, doing that type of thing. I feel
Yeah.
like some people just have a knack for it.
We've each got our gifts, like easily. And it just was super buried and took its sweet, sweet time to come along.
Came out with a lot of trauma.
Well,
Thank you,
and
nursing.
working, and so, we didn't have daycare when everything first went down in March. So, I was working straight nights and I look back now and I'm like, oh, thank God we had actually switched to a continental because I don't think I would have survived on a 4-5 waterfall had it been 4 straight nights, 5 off, 4 straight nights, 5 off.
Mm,
Because, I would stay up all day with the kids because they were so young and then barely nap and then go to work and then barely nap and then come home, stay up. And
gosh.
I was a zombie. I shouldn't have been nursing, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. During that time, I did not have kids, and I constantly was like, "What are all the parents doing right now?
Drinking, drinking.
How are they
This is
surviving
why
this?"
anybody who was like on the cusp of like, really daily drinking, oh, we were shoved right over the edge into daily
I was in
drinking.
like